Okay, so one of the ideas I had was of starting trying to build a new house. But when you look at land prices, so let's say we look at land prices, um, land can be in the areas that you want to build in. It can get expensive, 300,000, 500,000. So, for instance, my neck of the woods, we could say Fairfax, EA. All right. And let's say we want land, right? So if you're already spending 300,000 for a house in that area with your with the labor you're going to be spending a lot more too for the labor because you're going to have very high demand land in these areas. So so right now it's not finding anything. Let's say we remove the boundary. Let's see what we come up with. So the cheapest one right now is Centerville, VA. Centerville is not a bad area. I'm familiar with that residential income lot. That's what you look for. Um, if you're looking to build a house on it, look at Alexandria Pine Lane. They want 1.3 million. Reston, 8.5 acres for 1.5 million. It's probably undeveloped. So let's look at that. Um, Undeveloped kind of means that it's plumbing, electrical, roads, all that stuff is not there. They're just giving you the space, 1.5. I think it's okay, but I don't play in that game, right? What I want is like, okay, let's say this Centerville, okay? Like real world, what I can do, I'm not a big builder or something like that. So my goal is, okay, if I buy something like this, and no septic system, no sewer system, public water available 50 feet. So you're gonna have to put your own stuff in to get it. So I guess this is the one right here on a site 89, site 65. Not sure what that means. I'll have to check. So they're saying this square here. So if you see that, it's just trees. So you buy that piece, you're gonna have to do excavation and leveling, and then you're gonna have to put in run all the sewer and all the everything here, and it's 35,000 square feet. So if you were to put a house in here, you're already at 300,000, and you might spend 300,000 to put a house on there in that area. Materials, labor, excavation, and all that. So I think a lot of people do what you can do is you can call some builders and they'll give you kind of some square foot price per square foot for building a house. If you build a house on your own and you're the GC, you can save, maybe I would say reasonably look at like a 15% savings. I know some people say 20, 25%, but just look at 15% reasonably. And then, but the problem, because let's say so you have 275,000, 7003 Centerville Road. So how do you figure out, is it worth it? What can you build here? You have to build something here that you can sell for 800,000 for it to be worth it. So next thing, what you can do, you can go to here, you go here, you go to Zillow. and you can and some of the old houses I sold from back in the day, like worth ridiculous amounts now. Let's see. Yeah, so I do with Zillow, so Zillow's like loading right now. Well, that's right here. Let's see if there's any houses around where we can look at. There's some houses here. So it's saying this one is worth 921. 2 beds, 1 bath, 920. Something's wrong with the Zillow stuff. Okay, $1 million. Hmm, let's see. For sale. There's nothing for sale, looks like. But yeah, this could work. So one thing is if you bought this, taking all this stuff down, you'd have to check how the land is. If the land is not flat, if it's got water, it could your excavation costs and leveling costs can be pretty high. But you'd have to sell for like 800 to a million to maybe I think my numbers are low right now. That those houses, how big they are, like a 2,000 square foot home, you might have to make it 3,000 just to be able to sell for the prices they want. You know, you need to make a big house for a million, so you might end up spending. So these are bigger houses, 4,000 square foot, 4,000 square foot. So even at $100 a square foot, you're spending about 400,000. So you're already at 700,000. You can easily get to 800,000. So this is kind of dangerous when you get to building a big house like this. Um, if you're your own builder, you could eat up 100,000 in building very easily. So that's the problem with this area. So and how because it looks like you need to build a 4,000 square foot home, you know, for about a 4,000 square foot home and sell for a million to make your money. You know, so you can see some of these houses here. Yeah. So that's what I've been thinking. This is why I don't like the DC area. It seems tight to me. It seems like it's very tight for you to make a profit. I'm still learning the building new house game. I haven't done a new house from scratch yet, but I'm researching. So I'm kind of seeing what areas would be good. And but I just don't have a good feeling about the Northern Virginia area being able to buy something and build it up to make a profit. It's either going to be Centerville or it's going to have to be possibly Miami. You know what I've heard? I heard Austin, Texas is one of the best places to buy a home. I don't know, that came out of nowhere. But yeah, Austin, Texas, go figure. But look, there's really nothing available in this area. And this area is a $1 million home here for sale, which is this one. There's only two homes in this area, so and then look at this. What is this? 575, 5 acre lot. Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna do most likely. I'm trying to hunt down where the land is. Either buy the land or the next opportunity is gonna be doing this thing, which what I'll do is it's kind of like my other goal. Like if I go to, let's say I go to like San Francisco has this place called Oakland, so it's like over the bridge. So what I would do is I have to figure out what is the default size I need to build a 2,000 square foot house. But I have kind of the spec house I want to build on here. But I would basically buy something like this, you know. It's right now it's 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1 car garage. I don't know if the land is enough, but once I figure out if the land is enough, what I'll do is I'll buy one of these. And $1 million out here, it's not as a big of a deal as it is because you're dealing with the less space. You know what I'm saying? A 4,000 square foot house, I don't need to build a 4,000 square foot home. I can build a 2,000 square foot 3 level with the elevator and a garage here, break this down, and then I can put up a house here and sell for 1 million. So this is kind of the thing I've been thinking more about that's more plausible because you don't have to build as much house. And at the same time, what you're able to do is you're building on an existing house. So there's some value there. So if you look at building on an existing property, it's almost the same price as you would pay for the land. But what you have kind of there already is the sewer, water, a lot of those things that are there already. So like this house, I could possibly break this one up and put a bigger house there. So I would just transfer all this, but it's a 0.02 acre. You see how small it is? So there's some things I need to figure out with the county. I sent an email to them to figure out these things. Kind of like what is the space I need to build the house I want. But you see how just these small houses are already at 300, which is the land value, right? So if we're looking at Oakland only, right? So let's look at only Oakland. And then we want to look at what's $1 million house. You got 5 million, you got 3, 4. Let's get to 1 million. I just want to see 1 million and down. Yeah, the funny thing is, we're like, yo, that's the thing about real estate. You're like, everybody knows what you know, but you doing it, that's what separates you, I guess. But here, look, this is 995,000. So this is the kind of house you want to build. And these houses are good, but they're old. So you can make a house, blows these houses out the water, you know? A very modern new construction, and this will be your competition. So that's where I see is kind of the opportunity. If you do it in like Centerville and stuff, you have to make a house so new. But here, what you can do is you can compete. These are older properties, you know. Wow, this looks like a multi-unit. I want to buy one of these, but I'm so hesitant about the landlord rules out there. I've been talking to some agents and some property managers out there to get some better idea, but I need to make a move right now that gets me a 1 year turnaround time of 200,000. That's the goal. 200,000 profit, and I want to cash flow something that can give me 50 grand of income at purchase. So I've been kind of researching this area for years now. So now it's kind of like I've been looking at these houses, what they offer, and I feel very comfortable right now where I think I can get something at 300, put a house for 400, and then sell 4 million, and then it'll be better than these 3 levels. I'll put an elevator in it, a garage. I'll put gated parking. A lot of things like parking. If you put a good parking, and I might put like a rooftop type um access where they can get all in, and get everybody get to the rooftop and just sit down. I'll put a little like metal roof at the top. Something very like superior. When they see it, they're gonna know, hey, this is definitely something more than I can get. That these old homes can't provide. You know, and so if this is a million, imagine what I could do. You know, but this is a great house. I mean, I really love the old houses, the old construction, because it shows you the history. It shows you the quality of the workmanship. I mean, people might not like the look, but the workmanship here, it's lasting. Look how long it's lasting. This work is there. It's not busted up. It's in good condition, man. But I don't know what this is, some sort of sheet metal or vinyl or something like that. But this is my competition. I feel better to compete with older houses than out in Northern Virginia where you have like these houses that ain't but a couple years old and got big builders building. And you're gonna be competing with them. And if you a big builder, they can decrease their house costs because they have a team. Well, I have a team of contractors that are just building and building, not per house, but they're just constantly working all year. But yeah, it's a new house. I've been looking at the new house strategy. So the goal will probably I'll buy either a house and then cash, like I'll buy one of these at like 300 cash, and then piecemeal build a new house on there in stages, you know? So, or the other option is buy one, live in it, I fix one up, and then I buy another house and I fix it in stages. But I see a lot of potential. I mean, what I know now in my skill set, these houses for me is it's manageable. I could turn this into double the cost, but there's capital gains is a 14% hit you take on your profits. So the problem I have with that is that I think it's better to wait 2.5 years. If you get a senior citizen, okay, let's say you would need to get a scenario where, you work with an investor who's over 65 who won't have to pay real estate taxes. They hold on the property for 2.5 years. Then you get your capital gains in 2.5 years. You pay cash for the property, then you won't have to pay the taxes. And you take 2.5 years to flip this. So right now it's 400,000 in 2 years, right? You can sell this for 800,000 with all your renovations. So you're making 200 grand a year, 100 to 200 grand a year, and it's pretty much um set for, like you're gonna make that money. You're definitely gonna get your investment back. 400,000 renovation costs you 100 to 200,000. Just the massive amount of materials that you'll need. But when you do in a 2 year span, I realize what I do now, I'm kind of rushing, so I'm just buying everything from Home Depot. But what you can do is you can strategically go to OfferUp, go to like Facebook Marketplace, and you can start to discount your material cost. Keep hunting and looking for discounted material costs. You look for discounted labor, and that's what you'd be doing. The majority of your time is researching materials, researching discounted labor, and you'd have to and all that thing's time consuming. So in order to really make that money, you need an investor that's older. You need to hold for 2.5 years to capitalize on the 14% capital gains. And then you need to also have a lot of time to interview tons of contractors, cut this up into a very detailed piece by piece process, organized, from top to bottom, all the pieces and what you need. And then you're gonna have to have a place to store your doors, your windows, your wood, your PEX, everything you need. You're gonna need a place to put all of it as you're finding deals on it, right? And that should cut down your material costs. So now you're cutting down your material costs. Now your contractors, you're gonna have to hunt because contractors are the worst. And if you're probably gonna get contractors who do the work, but it's shoddy and you have to do it all over. So that's the other issue you run into with the contractor work. And especially on the first new house, on the first build, hunting contractors, I do not wish. I want to be able to take my time, find good contractors, have accurate estimates, and maintain my margins. So try to do a job in 3 months, 6 months, or a year. You would think a year is a long time, but it's not. You can get rushed very, very quickly in a year. So that's kind of what I've been thinking now in the course of 2.5 years, kind of learn spend the needed time and not rush piece by piece. And then if you get through that process once, then I think the next house you can cut it down to a year. Even though you finish your renovations, right? You can finish your renovations and decide if you want to wait that other year and a half to maximize on capital gains or just dump it at that time. So yeah, this is kind of my new idea. I want to build a house from scratch. And also I want to attack this Oakland, California market. I've been looking at it so much because I had reasons to enter this market and kind of transition from Florida to San Francisco. But this market, I kind of fell in love with this Oakland, California idea. And I've been looking at the houses for a long time, for years now. And I think it's a good opportunity. And also, I am in space right now, looking down at the Earth. So I have a really good vision. As you can see, right behind me is Earth. So, I'm looking from the outside into the real estate market. And that's how I think the difference between me and other agents are in Earth, looking inside the market, like they're inside of Earth. But me, as you can see, I'm outside of Earth, looking in. So like a lot of times you might see aliens that are supposedly more intellectually sound and more sentient because they're outside of Earth instead of inside. So I'm kind of on that level, but I'm human on the outside of Earth, but not an alien. So anyway, just to let you know how I separate myself from other agents, I actually am in space doing real estate analysis. So this kind of overview, I'm working on this like late in the night, before my day start. So we will see how things pan out. Um, let's see. All right. So we'll see how it goes. This is the update for tonight. Get back to work. See y'all later. Try to like, share, and subscribe or comment.